All right. Welcome everybody to our meeting for our fall sports. This will be the meeting for fall soccer as well as for fall t-ball. Thank you for joining us. This is for fall 2023 as well. Just in case it is you're watching at a later date, this is for fall 2023. Anyways, before we get started, I'm going to open up the meeting in prayer, and then we will jump right into all the good stuff. Father, we just come before you. I thank you and praise you for the opportunity to get to play youth sports. Pray for each and every individual that is participating this year. God, and direct us as we are going throughout the season. Allow us to have a safe and enjoyable season for each of these young individuals. Lord, just allow us to enjoy the games of soccer and t-ball as we learn and ask all these things in your name. Amen. All right. Well, first and foremost, I do want to welcome you to our fall 2023 sports. We're looking forward to it. We've had a good turnout this year. Not the same as the spring, of course, but it has been a good turnout for the fall, and we are excited to see all of the different things taking place. So, starting off, just to let everybody know, if this is your first time playing with us here at the Y, where our fields, games, practices, everything is located. So, we are located at Hunt Park. It's kind of where the YMCA pool is. The address for that is 1823 Westover Road. Once again, that is 1823 Westover Road, and that is where all of our games, all of our practices, everything will take place at those fields for both soccer and t-ball. And I'll get to in just a second. I'm going to show you a layout of the fields. That way you can kind of see what it looks like. You can kind of have an idea of where you're going to be practicing and different things like that. As far as first practice, our first practice will be Tuesday, August 22nd. That is about 3 to 4 days from the time that this video is posted. Tuesday, August 22nd will be our first practice. First games will be September 5th. That should be a Tuesday as well. Tuesday, September the 5th, right after Memorial Day, coming back off of that, and then we're going right into September. Anyways, yes, right after September 4th, we will have our practice, or excuse me, our first game, September the 5th. We'll have 2 weeks of game or practices, August 22nd, that week, the following week, and then we'll start our 4 weeks of games, September the 5th. That is for soccer as well as for t-ball. We'll look to start there. All of our practices, all of our games are scheduled 2 times a week on Tuesday and Thursday. I will tell you the times in just a second for each age groups. If we have a game, a rainout game, we need to make up something, that will be on a Monday. Generally, if we have a Tuesday or Thursday game rained out, we try and make that up the next Monday. Hopefully, prayerfully, we'll not have any games get rained out this year. But in the event that that does, you will be able to know that we're going to try and make that up the following Monday. And that goes for games and practices that will be made up. As far as times, so I will say I'm going to go a little bit slower over this, and if you need to pause, rewind, kind of figure out what time your child or children are playing, this is where I'm fixing to do that. So I'm going to start off with our t-ball. So our t-ball times, the 3 to 4-year-olds will be playing and practicing at 5:30. The 5 to 6-year-olds will be playing immediately after them at 6:30. Once again, 3 to 4 t-ball is at 5:30. 5 to 6 t-ball is at 6:30. That will be on the t-ball fields. Just like I said, I will show you that in a minute. Now moving over to the soccer. Our soccer practices for 3 to 4-year-olds will be at 5:15. Our 5 to 6-year-olds will follow right after them at 6 o'clock. And then we will have our 7 to 8-year-olds on the same fields at 7 o'clock. Once again, 3 to 4-year-olds are at 5:15. We have our 5 to 6-year-olds are at 6. And then we have our 7 to 8-year-olds at 7. Now for our older groups, 9 to 10-year-olds, they will be at 6 o'clock. 7 and 8-year-olds, they will be, 9 to 10 will be at 6 o'clock. 11 to 12 and 11 to 13 will be at 7 o'clock. Now, with that being said, we have combined our 11 to 12-year-olds. We have moved the 13-year-olds into that same group. We are still looking to keep the guys and girls teams separate. However, we'll have some scheduled games where the girls will play against the guys, vice versa, throughout the year. And that will you will see that as we get the schedules out shortly. But right now, that is what we have. So I'm going to read through those one more time real quick. T-ball, 3 to 4, 5:30. 5 to 6-year-olds, 6:30. For the soccer, we have 3 to 4-year-olds are at 5:15. 5 to 6-year-olds and 9 to 10-year-olds are at 6. And 7 to 8-year-olds and 11 to 13-year-olds are at 7. And that is our times for this year. Like I said, you'll have your first practice at that time next Tuesday. Now, in regards to what the first practice will look like, so those that have been with us many seasons, kind of the same structure, same formal. But for those that this is your first season, what it will look like this year is the first practice really is just kind of finding your team, finding your coach, making sure that you are on the right coach, because in some of the leagues, especially soccer, we have 2 teams practicing on the same field. So making sure that you're with the right team, with the right coach, that they have your name, your child's name on the roster, and then that all of the information for your child is correct on that coach's roster. So making sure that their names are spelled correct, making sure that the shirt size is the desired shirt size, and then also making sure that phone numbers, all of those things are correct for the roster. Just that way, 1, the coach can be in contact with you. 2, we can make sure to order the correct shirt size, because once they are ordered, the day after practice, there is no changing. They're going back. It is set, and that is that. So please, 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 that first practice, make sure that you are able to check in with the coach, make sure that everything is correct. Now, I will say, I know that next week there are some open houses and some things going on that you might miss. You might be out. In the event that if you are not able to make it to the practice Tuesday, the coach should be in contact with you. And once you get in contact with the coach, just let them know. If you have not been able to get in contact with the coach, the YMCA will be contacting a few of the teams. If you haven't heard from anybody Tuesday around lunchtime, please feel free to call us at the YMCA. We would love to make sure that you know where you're supposed to be, what team you're supposed to be on, field, and all of those things with that as well. And so that's kind of what we got the first practice looking like for us this year. Now, moving into something that I'm sure if you've once again watched one of these parent meetings, you've probably heard us say this before. And if you are one of the coaches, I want to say thank you very much. Please make sure to tell your coach thank you. They are doing this out of just the goodwill of their heart and volunteering their time. They are not paid coaches. They are volunteering their time, willing to help steward the next generation in sports, as well as be good examples to each of the children. So please make sure to tell them thank you. But we are still looking for a few coaches. I know this is something that you probably heard many times, and you're like, I don't really want to coach. I don't have the time to coach, or I don't know about coaching. In any of those cases, I completely understand. And if you are not able to, we definitely appreciate you allowing your child to play with us this year. But for those that might have the time, that might not know, or might even have the time and might be interested in coaching, I would love to get in contact with you. We're always looking for head coaches, assistant coaches in all of our leagues. And so if you are interested in coaching, please send me an email. You can send that at seth@tiftareaymca.org. Once again, that's seth@tiftareaymca.org. And I will get back with you trying to get all the correct information, making sure all the coaches' applications, background checks, and all those things are taken care of. The 2 age groups, as far as for that we're really still needing coaches, we're still needing a 9 to 10-year-old coach as of the time of recording this meeting for soccer, and we're also still needing a 5 to 6-year-old coach for T-ball. I will say the 7 to 8-year-olds, we have 4 coaches. We have enough to do 6 teams. So if we're able to get up to 6 coaches, we will be able to have 6 teams and kind of allow everybody to have more playing time. But if we're not able to get to the 6 coaches, we're going to stay the 4 teams, and we'll just have a little bit bigger teams this year for that. So that's what we've got going there. If you are interested in sponsoring also, I know the majority of the teams are sponsored, but if you are interested in sponsoring a team, or even want to know how to sponsor in the future, once again, feel free to reach out to me. Send me an email, and I will do the best I can to get you into whatever spot possible. So that is all that we have as far as sponsoring, coaching, and team-wise. Now, one of the other questions that we often get, what do I need? what do I need to have before practice? What does the Y provide? And things like that. So I did just want to let you know what we will provide before each practice for both soccer and T-balls. We will provide the shirts. We also provide a lot of the equipment that you will need to play. Um, so, for example, for the soccer, we will provide the balls, we'll provide the goals, cones, different things like that, as well as the uniforms that they will wear. So the parent will be responsible for providing cleats for the 5 and older, as well as shin guards for those age groups. It is recommended for the 3 to 4-year-olds, but it is not required for those age groups. I will say, if you have trouble finding cleats or just need help finding those, please feel free to get with us at the YMCA concession stand, and we would love to do the best we can to try and get some shin guards. And if you're not able to get cleats, we do have some cleats that have been donated by some generous people in the past. I'm not guaranteeing that we have a size, but if you're not able to purchase or afford a pair of cleats, we will do our best to try and see if we can't find a pair for your child. That way they don't go without. And so that's what we have as far as equipment on the soccer side. If you want to bring your own soccer ball, you're more than welcome. I know the YMCA will provide our own. We just ask, if you do bring your own soccer ball, please, 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 please make sure that your name or your child's name is written on that, because sometimes it'll get mixed in with ours. Somebody else might pick it up, and we want to make sure that you are able to get that back, whether it come to us or whatever it may be. So please make sure you write your name on those. In regards to the T-ball, we will provide, we have a bag of bats, we have a bag of balls, we have a bag of gloves, and we also have a bag of batters' helmets. So those are what we will have. We also have a uniform for those. So what the parents will be responsible for is providing, once again, the cleats for those age groups. Please, everybody, make sure you have plastic cleats, no metal cleats. And then they will also be required for the shorts or baseball pants, depending on what the coach says. Now, if you would like to, you can purchase your own glove, your own bat, your own batter's helmet for your child. That way they can kind of have their own and they don't have to use anything that might be shared. But once again, if you do bring your own, please, 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 please make sure that you write your name on it. That way, if it gets stuck in the bag with our stuff, we can identify it easily and make sure to get that back to you. Now, as far as uniform goes, once the game starts, practices is pretty casual. You can just wear whatever your child feels like, just shirt, shorts, cleats, those things. But once the games start, that's when we kind of start having the uniforms and things like that. So we will provide, like I said, the uniforms prior to that first game for your child to wear. And with that, one thing that we do ask on the main day is picture day. Picture day, please make sure that you wear either the whole team wearing black shorts, or if it's a baseball team, the whole team wearing the baseball pants or the black shorts. Just so that way, whenever we're in the picture, we want to look as nice as possible and as organized as possible for both the sponsor of the team as well as anybody that's getting team pictures. We want those to look very organized, very well put together. And so we just ask on the picture day that you would wear the black shorts or the baseball pants and uniform. Now, I will say, for the parents that like to go ahead and plan ahead, I do not know the exact times. Those will be on the schedule that'll be posted next week. But you can go ahead and circle September 7th and 12th as the 2 days that we will have all of our pictures. So that is September 7th and 12th. Those 2 days, we will have all of our pictures. The leagues individuals will be published as far as which of those 2 days you will be on, but those are the 2 days that we will have individual pictures. So if you know that you are not going to be able to be at one of those already, I would encourage you to go ahead, and if you're still wanting to get individual pictures, plan on taking the other day, even if your team is scheduled on the other time. But that is what we have there. 7th and 12th will be our picture day for this year. So those are some things that we're looking forward to this year. All right, real quick, I'm going to try and share my screen the best I can onto our website. So what should be on the screen now is our YMCA website. Some of you are probably pretty familiar with this, have been here several times. We have actually just updated it, so it is a new website as of this year, newly revamped. So there's a few things that I kind of want to go over. First and foremost, we have our layout right here on the right side. This kind of gives you an idea of what it is. So you have your two entrances, you have your parking lots, you have our airnasium, the YMCA pool as reference points. All right, the concession stand will be in the middle. The bathrooms are also right behind the concession stand. Our T-ball will be directly across from the pool. More than likely, our games will be played on 7 and 8. And for the 3 to 4-year-olds, you will be practicing on 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's what we've got there. For the soccer, your games will be on 1, 2, 5, 3, 4, and 6 this year. 1, 2, and 5 will be the 3 to 4, 5 to 6-year-olds, mainly with 1 and 2 the focus points. 3 to 4 and 6 will be the main ones for our 9 to 10, as well as 11 to 12-year-olds. Those will be the main fields, and 7, 8, like I said, will be field 1, 2, and 5. So that's what we've got there. All right, now we also have our YouTube page, which if you were watching this video, you've already been able to navigate to our YouTube page. But for future seasons and parent meetings, you can click right here and it will take you to our YouTube page. Now for our information sheets, registration forms, that can be found right here, registration form information sheet, soccer, registration form information sheet for T-ball. You can also see that we have some soccer training that we have just come out with. So if you're interested in that, that is something you can email me and we can try and get your child registered and signed up for the additional soccer training that is one-on-one with one of our soccer trainers here at the YMCA. So those are some things we have. At the bottom is just some different the coach's applications, concussion sheet. We also have a weather hotline number, picture order form, concussion for parents, and then the sponsorship form. Now I will say, while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and let everybody know this number, 229-528-9109, the weather hotline, is a number that I would highly encourage you put into your phone, right? Weather hotline for YMCA sports. That way, if there's ever a time, like I said earlier, that we have weather or any of those things, we will make the call, make the update on the weather hotline, sending out. That way you just call that number and it will let you know if your game has been canceled, practice been canceled, if it's still good to go, whatever is happening with that, we will update right on the weather hotline. Now, another form of reminders that we have is our Y game time. So this can also be found on our sports page. You can just come right here, click there. It will take you over to our Y game time. And right here, you will just click sign up, choose a program, whichever program that your child is in, you'll sign up for that one, either soccer, T-ball. You can sign up for both, but just enter your phone number, hit submit, and it will send you a text. That way, once we send out reminders, we can send reminders directly to your phone, whether it be just a reminder about picture day, cancellations, reminders about registrations, things like that. That is what we use those for. And so I definitely encourage all of the parents to sign up for that as well. So that is all that we have there as far as Y game time, sports, different information can always be found right here in that. The website is tiftareaymca.org, and this is /sports. So you can just go to programs. This is there. All right. Last but certainly not least, something I wanted to kind of go ahead and let everybody know in our older soccer programs. So in the fall, the past couple of years, we have had all-star soccer. That is something we are looking to do again this year for our 7, 8-year-olds, 9 and 10-year-olds, and then our 11 to 12-year-olds as well. That is what we're looking to do for our teams. Now, what this will look like, just to kind of give everybody some context. Normally we will play the season. During the season, kind of towards the end of the season, I go and talk with each of the coaches, and I said, "Hey, coach, all right, you're looking to put together an all-star team. What are your thoughts? Who would you recommend, either from your team or that you've just seen playing? Who would you recommend that we put on the all-star team?" I will say I can also pull up real quick just the what we are looking to have as far as numbers wise on our all-star team. So that way you can kind of have an idea This will be put together at the end of the season by talking with all the coaches. And I also want to add something that we're kind of putting into this year, something that we haven't necessarily done in the past, but this year will kind of be the first year for doing this, is also the head coach of the team that wins first place during the regular season will automatically have the opportunity to coach the All-Star team if they so choose. And so that will be automatic. Whichever team wins first place throughout the regular season, that coach gets the opportunity to coach the All-Stars. Other coaches, if you want to coach, you can always help assistant coach if your child makes the All-Star team, but the head coach of the winning team, they will automatically be eligible to coach the All-Star team. We can cross that bridge when we'll get there as far as talking if you do or don't want to coach the team, but I was going to let them know that. I also will let y'all, the coaches, know that during our coaches meeting next Monday. But anyways, as far as what we're looking to have on each team, so right now we are looking to have 9 All-Stars in the 7-8-year-olds with 3 alternates. We are looking to have 12 All-Stars in the 9 to 10-year-olds, also with 3 alternates. And then we're looking to have 13 All-Stars in the 11 to 12-year-olds, once again with 3 alternates. Now, that is liable to change just a little bit depending on the numbers of what the All-Star tournament gives us as far as how many they'll have on the field and different things like that. But that is what you can be looking forward to. That is what the children can be looking forward to try and play throughout the year with the hopes of making the All-Star team. But just know it is not me that goes out and selects each of the children. I talk with all of the coaches from all of the leagues, get everybody's input on who they think is deserving of making the All-Star team, and then going from there. So it is not something always that is strictly merit-based or they have made it in the past, so they're going to make it again. It is, we talk with the coaches give me their input. Hey, this child has been putting in the work. They have been improving, and they have really stepped up their game, and I feel like they are one of the better ones, and they should make the All-Star team. Attitude is one of the things that is considered from a lot of the coaches, what I've heard in the past. And so that is what we're looking at for the All-Stars this year. That is for all of our, like I said, 9, 10, 7, 8, and 11 to 12-year-olds. And then to kind of conclude, we will have a concession stand set up. So if you need to purchase water, I know it's going to be hot, especially during the practices, because we are still kind of at the tail end of August. I'm hoping that during September we'll get a little bit cooler. That's why we try to push it back a little bit from what we started last year on getting in and having the registration. But we have water, Gatorades, some drinks and stuff up at the concession stand, as well as some candy, maybe even some ice cream from time to time, popsicles, candy, different things like that. So anyways, that is all for our parent meeting. If there's a question that you did not have that, or that you did have, excuse me, that I did not answer, please feel free, go ahead. Once again, email me. Sometimes it might take a little bit for me to get back with you, but that is the best way to get in touch with me. That way I can get back with you as soon as I check the emails, either this weekend or next Monday. So any questions, Seth at tiftareaymca.org. Interested in coaching, sponsoring, once again, Seth at tiftareaymca.org. And if you are coaching, we will have our coaches meeting Monday, August 21st, right here at the YMCA. 6 o'clock for T-ball, 7 o'clock for soccer. Other than that, we will see you guys Tuesday, August 22nd for our first practices. Looking forward to a great season, and I want to thank each and every one of you guys. Have a blessed day.